Hello, this time we're going to discuss about solving quadratic equation by factoring when a is greater than 1. Okay? Always remember that the standard form of a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Your a here is greater than 1. Okay? So let us have this one. What are the solutions of 4x squared minus 21x equals 18? Following the standard form of quadratic equation, so we need to move 18 on the other side of the equation. So we need to get the opposite, and that is negative 18. Negative 18. So you now have here 4x squared minus 21x minus 18 is equal to 0, because 18 minus 18, that will be 0. So we're going to write here the equation 4x squared minus 21x minus 18 is equal to 0. We are still going to solve the given quadratic equation by factoring. So we're going to write 2 open and close parentheses again equals 0. Since our a here is greater than 1, we're going to follow a certain step in order to get the factor of the given expression. Okay? First is that you're going to multiply the first term by the last term. Okay? So we are now going to copy this one. X squared minus 21x minus, what is 18 times 4? 18 is the last term and 4 is the first term. So we need to multiply it. 4 times 8, that is 32, carry 3. Then 4 times 1, that is 4, plus 3, that is 7. So you have here the last term will be 72 is equal to 0. This is now the new quadratic equation. We now have x squared minus 21x minus 72. Your first term is multiplied by the last term. That's why we now have negative 72. Okay? And then after that, follow the same procedure. Multiply our factor, I should say the first term. X squared, the factors are x and x. So you have here x, and here is also x. And then factor the last term, negative 72. Okay? If that is negative, it is expected that the factors will be one is negative and the other is positive. So we're going to list down factors of 72. 72, it's a little bit big numbers, but let us try. So negative 72 times 1, it can be 72 times negative 1. Negative 72 can be negative 36 times 2, or it can be 36 times negative 2. Can we have 3? What is 72 divided by 3? So 3, what is 72 divided by 3? So 2, you have 6, 12. Okay, 24. Negative 24 times 3. Really? 72. Okay. So it can be 24 times negative 3. And then what else? Can we divide 72 by 4? 1, we have here 4, then 3, 32, 8. So it can be negative 18 times 4. It can be 18 times negative 4. Okay? Then, after that, let us going to add it. Okay? You may leave this process for as long as you are now familiar with the factors of 72. Okay? So, negative 72 plus 1, that is negative 71. 72 plus negative 1, that is 71. Negative 36 plus 2, that is negative 34. And then 36 plus negative 2, that is 34. Then negative 24 plus 3, that is negative 21. And then 24 plus negative 3, that is positive 21. Negative 18 plus 4, that is negative 14. And then 18 plus negative 4, that is positive 14. What is our last term? Negative 72. So what is our middle term? I should say negative 21. So the factors of 72 that we're going to follow is negative 24 and then 3. Okay? So we're going to write negative 24 here and then positive 3 here. Okay? So the factors of 72 is negative 24 and then positive 3 because the sum is negative 21. Okay? We're not yet done. Take a look. What is our A? Our A is equal to 4. So in here, you're going to divide each factor by 4. Okay? So you now have x minus, what is 24 divided by 4? That is 6. Multiplied by x plus, can we divide exactly 3 over 4? No. So you now have 3 over 4 is equal to 0. This is now the final factor of the quadratic expression on this given equation. And then after that, let us now equate the two factors. X minus 6 equals 0. And then x plus 3 over 4 is equal to 0. Solve the first factor, get the opposite of negative 6, that is positive 6, positive 6. So x now, negative 6 plus 6, that will be 0, is equal to 0 plus 6, that is 6. X plus 3/4 equals 0, get the opposite of positive 3/4, that is negative 3/4. So negative 3/4 on both sides of the equation. So x, positive 3/4 plus negative 3/4, that will be 0, is equal to negative 3/4. Okay? So the value of x, or the solution of the given quadratic equation, is x equals 6 and x equals negative 3/4. Can you follow the steps? Okay, let us have another example. We have here 2x squared minus 3 equals 5x. We need to follow the standard form of a quadratic equation. So we need to get the opposite of 5x. So that is negative 5x. We're going to write negative 5x on both sides of the equation. So you now have here 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 equals 5x minus 5x, that will be 0. Okay? Then, since your A, what is our A here? Our A is 2. You need to multiply your first term by the last term. Okay? So, we're going to copy now x squared minus 5x, 2 times negative 3, that is negative 6, is equal to 0. Okay? Then after that, you are now going to factor it, is equal to 0. Factor the first term, x squared, that is x times x. So you have here x, and here is x also. Now, factor the last term. Let us going to write it here. So, your last term is negative 6. Again, since that is negative, one is negative and the other is positive. List down the factors of 6. So, you have negative 6 times 1, 6 times negative 1. What else? We can have negative 3 times 2 or 3 times negative 2. And then after that, you have to get the sum. Negative 6 plus 1, that is negative 5. 6 plus negative 1, that is 5. Negative 3 plus 2, that is negative 1. 3 plus negative 2, that is 1. Okay? What is our middle term? Negative 5. Therefore, we have to choose this one. So the factors of negative 6 are negative 6 and then positive 1. Do not ever interchange the sign. You have here negative 6 and here is positive 1. Okay? And then after that, take a look at our A. You will only use this process if your A is greater than 1. Okay? You're just going to do this when your A is greater than 1. Since your A is 2, we're going to divide each factor by 2. Okay? So you now have here x minus 6 divided by 2, that is 3. X plus, can we divide 1 by 2 exactly? No. So you have to write 1/2 is equal to 0. So you now have to equate both factors by using the zero product property. Okay? And then you now have get the opposite of negative 3, that is positive 3, positive 3. So x now is equal to 3. Then get the opposite, negative 1/2, negative 1/2. So x now, that will be 0, is equal to negative 1/2. So the solution of the given quadratic equation is negative 1/2 and then positive 3. How do you know that this is really the solution of the given quadratic equation? You can do the checking. You're just going to substitute the value of x by negative 1/2 and then 3. Okay? Any question about the process? We have here another one again. So, do the same thing. You need to get the opposite of 20, so that is negative 20. We're going to do this because we need to write the given quadratic equation in its standard form. Okay? Equals 0. So try to observe. Your A is 3. We're going to write here. A is 3. So, you need to multiply the coefficient of your x squared by the last term. Actually, this is what we call the AC test. Okay? You have to multiply your 3, your A, by your C. So, you're now going to copy x squared plus 11x. 3 times negative 20, that is negative 60, is equal to 0. And then after that, do the same thing. We're going to draw two open and close parentheses. Factor the first term. X squared, you have x and then x, the easiest one. Okay? And then after that, what is our last term? Negative 60. So negative 60, we're going to write here. The sign of your last term again is negative. Therefore, it is expected that the factors will be one is negative and the other is positive. Then after that, we're going to list down factors of 60. You have negative 60 times 1, 60 times negative 1. Try to look at your middle term, positive 11. Okay, so can we have 30, negative 30 times 2, 30 times negative 2. What else? We can have 15, negative 15 times 4, or 15 times negative 4. Okay? Let us now get the sum. Negative 60 plus 1, that is negative 59. 60 plus negative 1, that is 59. Negative 30 plus 2, that is negative 28. Then 30 plus negative 2, that is 28. Negative 15 plus 4, that is negative 11. 15 plus negative 4, that is 11. What is the sign of our middle term? Positive, and that is positive 11. So we have here. So the factors of 60 is 15 and negative 4. So you have here positive 15 and then negative 4. Okay? Do not forget what is our A. Our A is 3. So we're going to divide both factors by 3. Again, you're just going to do this if your A is greater than 1. So you now have x plus 15 divided by 3, that is 5. And then you have x minus 4 over 3, because we cannot divide it exactly, is equal to 0. And then doing the same thing, x plus 5 is equal to 0. And then x minus 4 over 3 is equal to 0. So get the opposite of 5, that is negative 5, negative 5. X now is equal to negative 5. So the opposite of negative 4/3, that is positive 4/3, positive 4/3. X now, that will be 0, is equal to 4 over 3. So the solution of the given quadratic equation is negative 5 and then 4 over 3. Is there any question? Can you now follow? Remember, you're just going to do this process if your A is greater than 1. The important things that you need to remember on this process is you need to multiply your A and your C. And then after factoring it, you're going to divide both factors by A. Okay? Any question?